Hello and welcome to the Genea Netball Centre for the preliminary final of the Opens Premier League. Here on the show court tonight we've got the GWS Fury up against the Eastwood Ride Hawks. The Hawks come into this after a loss to the Central Coast Heart last week, so looking to bounce back and make it to the grand final. And the Fury come in after a 13-goal win over the Sutherland Stingrays, so they're on a bit of a hot trot and looking to get the better of the Hawks for the first time this season, because both times they've met, the Hawks have won. In round 5, it was a bit of a blowout and they won by 22 goals. And then their last matchup not that long ago in round 12 saw them pipped only by 4 goals. So it was tight and they're hoping for another tight clash here tonight. Looking forward to getting underway, and back in our expert chair is Swift's defensive coach, a very happy one after they won the grand final over the weekend, and former English defender herself, Sonia McCloma. Good to have you back.
Thank you. Great to be back, and I love coming back for finals time, so it's very exciting.
So tell us, how did you celebrate the grand final win in the Super Netball?
Just making phone calls and screaming and smiling a lot. Best win ever. The Swifts played an outstanding game, so, you know, New South Wales all the way.
It was very exciting and such an emphatic win too. I don't think anyone expected them to make the finals and let alone the grand final, so they definitely proved everyone wrong.
Yeah, definitely proved everyone wrong.
Hawks underway here, and Davies up in the air in that pocket. Ball coming over the sideline. So penalty to help out the Hawks with their first shot at goal. Austin offloads to Miller. Right-hand side of the post, she pops it in and they're on the board, 1-0.
Yeah, and that was a good offload to Ali Miller, especially for a settler for her under the post. So smart and very selfless move by Kira Austin.
Frakatic to Mann, swinging into that pocket now, and Chrissy Bryce, the target. They're going to have to stop her tonight, Sonia.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, she's up against Jessica Grant, and there is definitely a height difference back there. So I think the teamwork between Grant and Nick Stars is going to be very important today in what they do, but also the work from the girls on the outside to stop those feeds into the circle.
Oh, both players down. It looks like Tay Davies might have hurt her ankle.
Yeah, and Tay Davies is staying down, so that's not a great start for her. First minute of the game. She's taking time.
Yeah, calling time. Yeah, that's not great. They all got stuck in a huddle there.
Yeah, and, you know, while I was watching both teams warm up, and both teams seemed very nervous in their warm-ups. There was a lot of sprayed balls. There were there wasn't actually much chat amongst both teams. So I think both teams are nervous today because this is the knockout round. So, you know, everything is on the line. Their season is on the line.
Georgia Marshall, the injury replacement, into centre now. Fury inside the circle with a penalty. In front, Chrissy Bryce steadies, puts it through.
And that was a good shot by Chrissy Bryce, and Fury now up by 1.
Chance to make it 3 here. Struggling for the centre pass, though. They come back to Cottle. O'Keefe looking long, finds Mann, the skipper. She's stuck, though. They're looking like they're panicked, the Fury.
Yeah, a little bit. I think that, you know, you look at their front line, there's definitely a height difference in their midcourt compared to the Hawks. So the vision is not there. And you see they're doing a lot of lateral passes amongst themselves because they can't actually see, I think, to go deep. Again, you see the way Megan had to step around to kind of see the player. Oh, good save and touch by Chrissy Bryce to Ange Fretic.
Austin, keen to get the ball from O'Brien there. Now Marshall, first touch of the ball. 1-2 with Miller. Austin, she's got a bit of a matchup with Tilly McDonald, her giant Super Netball teammate there. I
know, definitely. You know, you normally do see McDonald and Alongi in switched over positions, so it's always good to see McDonald out there running around. And I think she did a great job for Fury so far in that goal defence because she's beginning to grow with confidence out there.
O'Keefe looking in. It goes off the tips of the hands of Chrissy Bryce and over the back line.
Yeah, she just overcooked that pass and there was no touch on it. So just something that I'm sure she'll work and build on towards as the game progresses.
Long to Halpin, New South Wales Swift champion.
I know. I didn't know Sophie Halpin was actually eligible to play in the finals series. So that's a smart move from the Hawks. And having her out there is going to make a major difference, especially against Jamie Mann, where, like we said again, there's another height difference. And the experience level of Sophie Halpin is going to bring to that back end is going to be immense.
So Hawks, centre pass here through Marshall. O'Brien helping her out. Now Miller's come way out. That wasn't a particularly good pass. Marshall looking in.
And that was good defensive pressure from the Fury and the young Fury player in Kotak wing defense, and just holding them up, and they had nowhere to go. So this is good defensive pressure from the Fury.
Nick Stiles making it difficult for Freketic to find space. Here comes Megan O'Keefe at the back. That was smart play.
Yeah, and she did well to hold on to that one.
Looking in, nice feed, quick, wasting no time at all. And Freketic pops the 4th goal in for the Fury. We're locked at 4 apiece.
So as you see, both teams are getting that first centre pass pretty easy, but then they're getting stuck on the top of the circle area and having to go back or lateral. So both teams really putting on a great defensive show at the moment.
She's been pulled up, but I was just going to say that was a really nice read from McDonald to go back and try and prevent the second feed happening.
Yeah, it was, and just even get a touch on that one. She's just unlucky to get called for that contact call. And I guess in that end, when you've got shooters like Ali Miller and Chrissy Bryce at either end defensively, you actually don't want to give away the silly contacts for them so close to the post. You actually want these girls to shoot long and give yourselves the opportunity for rebounds through a missed shot.
Strong and hard, O'Keefe to Bryce.
Yeah, and good use of the top of the circle from O'Keefe, and great finish by Chrissy Bryce.
So with the opening 5 minutes of this preliminary final, it's even, 5-all, and a pretty even contest so far, you must say. Pretty fitting for Premier League.
Yeah, it is. It's, no teams having it easy off this centre pass, and they're being held out well. That was a better run through from Marshall, and a great feed into Austin. And again, Austin like it. And that was a great touch by Alongi. Just again the contact call. So it's another shot under the post. So I think these girls in the back need to pick and choose which interceptions and ball touches they go for.
Would it have been better for Austin to just put up the shot there? She was set and ready, and it was a bit dangerous to offload.
And she's such a great shooter that she's more than capable to do that. So I don't know whether it's she's just moving Ali Miller into the game, or maybe she just didn't feel comfortable on the post from the pressure from McDonald.
So Hawks pick up the ball from a deflection on O'Brien.
Yeah, and that was a great drive by Kira Austin into the circle. And that's what she does well. The swing to the pocket and then drives to take it on herself. So that was good.
Little 2-goal buffer. Hawks can make it 3 here. Austin out for the centre pass. They find O'Brien running back, and Miller ready to take the ball on the side of her body there.
Yeah, and again, Claire O'Brien, she matches up again, another experience, Swifts player from last season against Georgia Cottle, so there is an experience difference. So that move that Claire did, just changing off her angle and coming onto the top of the circle, you're expecting that from someone at her level. And a held ball, so that was great defensive pressure from the Hawks.
So they're in the Fury's head now. Let's not forget that these Hawks were at the grand final last year. Unfortunately lost to the Central Coast Heart, but they've played a preliminary final and made it through before, so they've got that experience under their belts. And
that was a great pass in from Marshall into Ali Miller, so again showing their experience against this younger Fury defence end. And that was a great touch by Alongi from the back, so you don't see many defenders getting up from back and getting a clean defensive touch on that ball.
Brilliant pass. Oh, and a deflection off the hands of Sophie Halpin, and now back into the Hawks. They're holding on to possession.
Yeah, just a wasted opportunity from the Fury front end. And, I question whether that pass was actually on or whether it was actually forced. So, and a team like Hawks are going to punish you for that. So the Fury need to be more patient in their midcourt.
In the first 5 minutes, we were locked at 5 apiece. It's now 10-5. So Fury haven't scored for a couple of minutes now.
And again, that was a big ball again by Jamie Mann, forcing the matter. And right now, I think Jamie and Megan O'Keefe are just rushing these passes in. What was working for them was the patient play. So they're going to have to change, just wait for it to open up, because I think against the Hawks it will actually open up for them. So Ali Miller just trying to set up a screen with Austin there for that back space, and well done, got herself under the post.
Up by 6, this is a great start for the Hawks. Popping through is Claire O'Brien on the centre pass. 1-2 with Miller.
Yeah, too easy that is. right now from that defense. And I think there's a bit of doubts coming into the defense of the Fury's heads. You know, Oyongi was hesitating whether to come out, the same for Matilda McDonald. So people are starting to look for other things as opposed to just staying on their jobs.
Lovely work with the ball from Jamie Mann. Little pass to find O'Keefe. Now she's looking into Chrissy Bryce. Regathered on the edge.
Yeah, and just more patient. And when they're patient, it works for them. So, you know, let's hope they keep doing. Their shooters can shoot. We just need to get them the ball.
Lovely goal from Freketic. Swish. A fair way out.
This is good pressure from the Fury, just holding and drawing Ali Miller out the circle.
Fair way out. Beautiful shot from Kira Austin, who was at the Super Netball Giants dinner last night. They had their gala. So
oh, yes. I guess that I saw some pictures on Instagram, and
yes,
the girls looking very glammed up, which was nice to see.
Jenny O'Keefe, the coach of the Fury, was also there as assistant coach of the Giants. So, yeah, a big night for them.
Yes, celebrating all things Giants is always good to see.
I'm sure they were sensible, though, with this game coming up today.
Well, we'll soon all will be revealed in 55 minutes.
O'Brien looking straight into Miller, who's popped outside that circle. Now Marshall comes back. Austin. They're still looking to come inside that circle. But persistence is paying off as they pop the ball up over the back for Miller. And she gathers it and puts it through.
Yeah, and the connection between O'Brien and Austin is starting to build. So, and they're actually finding space beautifully amongst themselves. So that defensive pressure from Matilda McDonald and Georgia Cottle needs to up to slow them two down, because they're actually the playmakers for this Hawks team at the moment.
What about the attacking line? Because even on that centre pass, as the Hawks turn over ball and try to convert here, they look to go straight back to the defenders for the centre pass because they knew centre and wing attack were already taken out of the equation.
Yeah, and that's smart, and it's just making sure you have options. That was a great feed again by Georgia Marshall, just seeing Kerry Austin creating space for herself in that back space. So Fury definitely have a game on their hands. So it'll be interesting to see 4 minutes to go, whether they can nick back a few goals to finish this quarter strong.
8 goals difference, 4.5 to play till the first break of the preliminary final.
Yeah, just caught for hugging. Again, Matilda McDonald just getting caught behind Ali Miller. And Ali Miller is so strong in the air and in that front position that they're going to have to change up what they're doing.
Oh, she shot 25 from 27 attempts last week at 93%. Oh, Halpin again with another turnover. She's got hands everywhere tonight.
Yeah, that was a good touch for Halpin. I don't know whether that was a bit of a bounce, little basketball dribble there, but...
Possible replay. Let's not get it
I know,
get in the way of a good story.
Yeah, I know. Umpire, I don't know. What was the call there? But either way, it was well read by her and great pickup. So 10 the difference now as Hawks pull away. So my question is, why didn't they start with Georgia Marshall? She's come on great for the Hawks and connecting well with that front end.
Man looking for the second phase, just throws a bit of a Hail Mary through to the goal third, and Jess Grant straight on those crumbs.
Yeah, and like I said, you know, the hands pressure from Halpin at the back there and Stars against these attackers for the Fury, they're small, so they actually can't see. So you can see they're panicking as opposed to just being composed, looking back and seeing what all your options are.
Baseline jump, Austin edging towards the post, takes the Hawks to 19. And Fury are going to have to come up with some answers here.
Yeah, you can see some of the girls just looking to the bench and looking at the coach for some answers, I guess, because the score is starting to pull out. And now it's 7-20, so Hawks are having a field day at the moment.
Freketic trying to come through instead. O'Keefe goes to man. Held ball again.
I know, that was, in my opinion, that was a quick held ball. But again, they can't see the defensive pressure on the hands over. Oh, an offensive foul. That was a big call from Tamara.
There are umpires tonight, Taylor Favell and Tamara Welsford. Chris Hall is the reserve.
And this is a patient approach for Fury. And again, you know, Jamie Mann getting a bit flash, but completely misread her other attackers.
Yeah, there's no need for flashiness, just a normal solid ball will do. Unless it comes off, then we love it in commentary, don't we?
Yeah, then if it's great, if it's a good flash, we're like, oh yeah, we like that. But I think, you know, when you're down by 13 goals, it's the basic stuff that's going to work for you to nick away at this scoreline. And that was a big shot from Chrissy Bryce. So like we said, we know that Chrissy Bryce and Angela Friketic can put these goals away. We just need to get them the ball. And Fury at the moment are not being able to do this well.
Austin comes back to the transverse line. Now O'Brien gives it to Miller. Outside, they're swinging.
And that was a good contest by Cottle. Just couldn't control it enough. And again, another great feed in by Claire O'Brien into Kira Austin.
Yongi was definitely hunting it, but just a fraction too late. Clock ticking down towards the first break. Good grab from Chrissy Bryce, though, with such defensive pressure around her.
Yeah, that was a good feed-in from Ange Friketic, so to speed it up.
Quick work from the Hawks here, and Cottle trying to get the ball in the air. Oh, it's a turnover.
Oh, okay, Fury's advantage. So they've got a minute to go to take it down to go.
I think they expected there to be a contact call here and a penalty the Hawks' way.
I think we all did.
Yeah. Instead, it's a baseline throw in.
And again, this is great work from the Hawks, just holding up the Fury attack end and causing all sort of confusion and mess for them. So, but Fury being patient. Oh, that was a quick ball into Fretic, and again, not settled enough. And just couldn't nail that pass to Jamie Mann. So another missed opportunity from the Fury, so they're back on defence.
30 seconds here. Can the Hawks score again?
Well, the speed in which they're going down the court, I reckon they might.
Yep, the outside channel, over the back line.
And that was a good touch by O'Keefe, just to slow it down a little bit. And again, Ali Miller in that front position where we know she's most comfortable. So
time held with a couple of seconds on the clock. But we won't see it go far, that's for sure, as they just hold on to it and wait for the clock to tick over. So 22-9. At 5 minutes into this quarter, Sonia, we were locked at 5 apiece, and now look at the score. It's pretty crazy to reflect on that.
Yeah, and I think, I just think Fury just went away from their game plan. In the beginning they were patient in attack. They weren't afraid to play the ball around. They went back if need be, but nothing was forced. You know that Chrissy Bryce is a target for them, but it's just to get the ball to them. So we know that the defense of the Hawks will double back on Bryce. So I just think Fury went away from that game plan and what was working for them and just got a bit erratic and got caught up in the momentum of the Hawks. We know the Hawks' team is lined with stars, either state players and, we've got SSM players, we've got A&L players in there. So their speed of ball down the court is much quicker. So, Fury cannot try and play at their pace. They've got to get back and do what was working for them and play at their own pace.
So there's Jenny O'Keefe, assistant coach for the Giants in Super Netball and head coach here of the Fury. What do you think she'll be saying to her troops, Sonia?
I just think she just needs to tell them to settle down in that attack end. It'd be interesting to see whether she actually makes changes because that, they're getting in all sorts of strides through their midcourt, and I'm not sure whether they have middies on their bench that can come on, but that combination in that midcourt is not working for them at the moment, just because of the height disparity. So, it'd be interesting if she makes a change. Will she? I don't think she will. But I think there's a change definitely needed either end, even if it's changing Alongi and Matilda McDonald around at the back end.
I think Annabelle Marshall, she can play a wing defence role, but I don't think there are many options otherwise. Nat Elridge, maybe a wing attack? Yeah, not really sure.
Yeah, so it'd be interesting to see what she decides to do moving forward. But I think, right now I would make a change, even if it's just looking at changing Ayongi and McDonald around. Just changing up what that looks like on the likes of Ali Miller and Kira Austin, because we know Ayongi can play a good goal defence.
So Fury led from start to finish against the Stingrays up on the second court in the minor semi-final last week, but with a big task ahead of them here for the second quarter. And the Hawks were tied 13-all with Central Coast at this point last week in the major semi-final on the show court. And then I think their third quarter really let them down because even at half-time it was only a couple of goals in it, and then, that score just blew out. Yeah,
and I believe that, you look at the Hawks bench and, again, it is lined with stars. And, it's always a challenge for the coaches to put on your best 7, and at that point you're leaving some good players on the bench. And just watching the game last week, I just thought some of the combinations which they started, they had some good girls on the bench. I think they finished stronger. They brought on Sophie Dwyer, who we know can put goals away and quick goals for the team. They started with Bills. They started with, what's her name? Emma Bills with Ali Miller. Kira Austin started off the bench. And, Kira Austin is an SSM player, so it's interesting to see what that was all about. And obviously they've got the likes of Sophie Halpin now. So, more girls vying for a starting position.
Yeah, and Jen Wright was forced to use all 4 shooters last week, just trying to mix up those combinations. So sometimes, I guess, you can make the changes if things aren't working, but if there's too many changes, then nobody settles. So it's a hard balance to get.
Yeah, it is. And I think, when your team is with girls that are coming in and out, like you said, coming in and out from SSN or restricted court times because of an A&L or anything like that, or injuries, it's hard for a coach to find her team, find her combination that works, especially when you meet a team like the Central Coast Heart who are pretty settled in their lineup.
Yeah.
And you're just trying to find that consistency.
Okay, well, we're going to head out for the second quarter here and eager to see if there are any changes, expecting none for the Hawks side. And yes, they run on as they did apart from that swap for Davies and Marshall with the injury.
Yep, and again, no changes for Fury. So let's see what they can do coming into this second quarter.
Hawks center to kick us off. O'Brien to Marshall. Running hard across the top of the circle. Little juggle from Miller, but she holds on to possession for the Hawks, and now on the edge there's going to be a penalty.
Yeah, and that was a lucky reset, I guess, for the Fury to give them a better opportunity. This is better defensive movement from Ayongi and Matilda McDonald, but Matilda McDonald just getting caught slightly behind there. Just please change her angle so she can see behind her.
Mann with a double cut. Right in front of O'Keefe, gets the ball.
Yeah, and I think Mann opened up a bit earlier, so it's that confidence in each other and the patience from O'Keefe to wait for her fellow mate to come free, because Mann can get free. She's quick enough.
Throwing in from the side of the court. They use the transverse line to swing the circle. Looking in. Yeah, there we go. Chrissy Bryce, that was better play.
Yeah, it was. Better use of the triangles to pocket into Bryce.
There's the under-23 side. We're to the grand final.
It's good to see them coming down to support their older lot.
Especially when it gets cold down here. Games can run pretty late too, so some of them would still have school tomorrow.
Yeah, so it's good that they're down to support.
14 goals difference.
And again, that was a better drive by Mann, a better movement by Andrea Ferretti. And again, beating Jess Grant in the air, Chrissy Bryce, and the rebound. So this is smarter play from Fury. Oh, she can't get 2 in a row, just getting a bit stuck with herself. And a little push and barge.
Styles just letting her know that she's there.
Or Chrissy Bryce letting Styles know she's there, I might say on that one.
Nice work from Freketic to just pop forward and the give and go. Now, Freketic shot at 100% last week, 23 from 23, but we haven't seen her put as many shots up.
No, and I think that's just due to the fact that they're struggling to get the ball and find their 2 shooters back there. And like you said, we know they can both shoot, so we just need to be patient and get that ball to the top of the circle and feed it in.
Lofted up.
That was a better switch by McDonald and Ayongi, and just McDonald just taking that front space. So hopefully they keep that up, and that hopefully will pay off for them.
Freketic providing the option for the centre pass this time. They come back to Cottle.
Yeah, but this is good defensive pressure from the Hawks. They just sitting behind the attack end of the Fury, allowing them the front ball, but then stopping any further drives down the court. So the back end of Stars, Marshall and Halpin are working together very cleverly. And again, a good ball in to Chrissy Bryce. Anything in the air, we know that she can beat her defenders, but it's the placement of the pass that's really important right now.
They're lucky that Mann had the legs to chase after the ball.
Yes.
And another missed shot from Chrissy Bryce. So she seems a little bit rattled here, Sonia.
Yeah, I think when she allows these defenders to get in her head, her shot goes off a little bit. So she just needs to calm down and just play her game. She knows she can do that shot under the post.
Of course, Chrissy Bryce has been playing over in New Zealand this year in their ANZ Championship League. And a long bump from Ali Miller impresses the crowd. They're happy with that one.
Yeah, that was a good confidence shot from Ali Miller. Again, just struggling to get out on the centre passes. Everyone's getting caught behind the Hawks defenders, who are doing a great job at just not closing down their vision.
Marshall finds Miller, 1 foot just on the edge of the circle. Now she finds Austin inside. Long range, puts the shot up, and she'll get another crack at it here. Everyone's very quiet all of a sudden.
We're all waiting to see what happens.
Chance for the Hawks to go back to back. Austin finds O'Brien, then up in the air. Iongi read that really well.
Yeah, and Ali Miller just couldn't control that one, so that was a better defensive effort inside the circle.
Rewarded with a throw-in from the sideline. She finds her partner in Tilly McDonald.
And again, just Coddle and O'Keefe just getting caught on one side of the court, so just need to balance up the court a little bit, up the vision. And that was a better pass from Jamie Mann.
Top of the circle now with the penalty, a little fake both ways.
Yeah, just hesitating to feed it into Bryce against Jess Grant, and I think in the air, I'm sure Bryce will win it every time, but just a bit hesitant in giving the ball in.
How are the Hawks defenders making her hesitant, Sonia? Is it just the constant defensive pressure on her?
I just think it's the movement. Like if you watch Jess Grant and Styles, they just keep moving. So even now, Jess Grant's feet are moving. She just keeps readjusting where she is. That was a better feed in from Fury and a better hold from Bryce to keep Jess on her back.
Light clockwork for the Fury.
Oh, the crowd liked that one.
The bench did too. They had their hands above their heads clapping. O'Brien goes with the front option. Miller in front, little way out. Further than she normally likes to shoot.
Yeah, but it's good to see her putting those shots up, and I just think because there's not much pressure on her on the take, so defensively they're going to have to up the pressure on the take to put more hesitation in Miller's shot.
Man to O'Keefe. Frakatic just coming forward with that front cut. Lovely goal.
And that was a good goal by Frakatic.
13 goals difference. So not much has changed since we started this quarter. Both teams have been pretty even.
And that was a good touch out by O'Keefe just to let them to reset it. So defense just getting stuck on the screen of Ali Miller and Kira Austin. But Kira Austin, just a rush shot, just over pumped it. But she'll get another chance.
Oh, Miller's going to steal the ball.
She's like, I'll take this one.
Yeah.
Thank you very much.
That was better finding space.
Yeah, that's better patience by O'Keefe.
She needs someone to come forward, not backwards. Frakatic through traffic, puts it up in the air, finds Chrissy Bryce on that baseline.
Yeah, and Frakatic is actually confident in giving that ball, that big ball in. So if I was the midcourt, I'd give it to her and let her feed Chrissy Bryce all day.
Running backwards is O'Brien. And Miller, again, just allowed too much space in front.
Yeah, so the Hawks attacking and loving that pocket on the right-hand side, and then swinging the ball into Ali Miller on that front position. So defensively, they're going to have to change, and I think Iongi and Matilda trying to work it out amongst themselves, but just getting caught behind the shooters.
Turning inside the circle, Frakatic swings to Man. Now at the top is O'Keefe.
And that was good use of the front space by Ange Frakatic.
Steadies, fires it inside.
And that was a good confident shot by her. She did a lot of work for her team.
Feels like there's a lot of crowd support for the Fury tonight. I think maybe the under 23s are making a lot of that noise as Iongi coming forward with a defensive tip.
Yeah, and that was a good pounce by Iongi. Well read on that pass. So Fury going to need to capitalise on this and just be patient on their approach. Both attackers coming off the circle edge, and great, better feed in by Jamie Mann to see Chrissy Bryce.
But that's how you switch up momentum, don't you, Sonia? An effort like that at the back and being able to convert it.
Yeah. So Fury just need to, again, to convert on their centre passes and just keep nicking away at this scoreline.
Down by 12 at the moment, chance to make that 11. But where's the second phase play? It's missing again.
And that was a better drive by O'Keefe at the top of the circle. Just needs patience on that feed.
Styles just inside will be out of play.
At the edge of the circle. I'm sure she shuffled herself back a few spots. So Anja Frakatic paying herself on that drive.
Well, it's interesting that Man went to the back there because Frakatic was clearly open.
Yeah. But it's good to see her getting confidence in feeding Chrissy Bryce now, just settling into this game. So there was no pressure on Georgia Marshall's feed. O'Keefe was still recovering and getting it back into position. So they're going to need hands over to stop that feed into Ali Miller. That's a better drive by O'Keefe through that middle to center pass to draw space and open it up for the other girls.
Another contact call inside.
Yep, she's looking for a feed off, so it's a great little drop pass. O'Keefe not confident to give it to Bryce.
Call against Bryce.
Yeah, well, she went up for that one with one hand for some reason. I'm not sure why. So maybe the other hand was caught holding down the player.
Another penalty there. Halpin, laterally to Styles, who almost got the ball stolen.
So this is better pressure from the Fury back end, and the bench is generating a lot of noise to help up their players. So
long ball over the top.
Yeah, back into that pocket. Then good swing ball option by Claire O'Brien.
Solid work from Austin. Up through the net, 32-19. 4.5 before half-time.
And that was a good touch by Yongi. She read that one well. Another contact call, just getting caught behind and just using our arms to hug the shooter. So, you know, the defense end back then, they've just got to keep their feet moving and get off the players.
The Hawks are doing so well as they get a turnover here on really limiting what Man can do for that centre pass. They've got 2 players on her, and at the moment, even though she has got that quick feet, she's just not able to get free.
Yeah, and that was a great attacking play from the Hawks, and that was all generated from Kira Austin on the centre pass on an interception, and the speed in which she drove down and created and cut through that attack end really opened it up for Ali Miller on that final feed. I think Hawks have got a little bit of fire in their bellies, and their players are starting to showcase their skills and experience out there against the Fury.
The Fury bench players have just got up for a little run, so we may be seeing changes. O'Keefe, quick work with Man. That was lovely passing.
Yeah, and that was a good pass in by Man to Chrissy Bryce.
So there's glimpses of great here, Son, but it's just going missing. It's sort of not consistent.
Yeah, so they're stopping the Hawks from blowing this scoreline out a bit too far. But right now, defensively, they're all reacting. So, you know, the Hawks are having the freedom to do what they want in attack, and then the Fury are happy to kind of allow them to do this and then set back onto the hands pressure. So they're actually not stopping them going where they want to be going.
All very quiet here. One of the biggest crowds we've had so far this season, and they're probably the quietest.
The quietest. Everyone's wet. They're like wet rags.
16 goals. Can the Fury bring it back? Styles disrupting the play. It goes over the side of the court.
Yeah, so Fury's still got the opportunity to score one on this and just keep that score line close.
Bouncing in. Frakatic puts the ball right into the hands of Chrissy Bryce, and she fires it inside the net.
And that was a good pass by Frakatic. But again, you see the Fury defense and just not knowing what to do against the Hawks, and you know, just watching these Hawks play, and then they're practicing screens, to set up screens for each other. It looks like they're practicing for the finals, if you'd ask me. And I would definitely say this would be their strongest combination out on the court at the moment. So contact call against Nick Styles. So they're on a 2-on-1 in the circle, a massive height difference. So let's see what they can do.
Frakatic with the overarch of the back.
Yeah, Frakatic's doing a lot of work for that Fury front end, so she's just going to have to keep up.
Oh, Yongi!
Well read by Yongi.
Like a thief in the night coming through, and Sophie Halpin turning ball over for the Hawks.
Yeah, just again, no one to pass it to. So that was a smart and well-read play by Sophie Halpin.
different approach from men this time seemed to work, but they give the ball straight back to the Hawks in Jess Grant. Beautiful intercept and read of the play. 1 foot or both feet now inside the circle of Miller. They go back to Halpin. Now Austin looks in. Easy little feed in, and the Hawks, it's like child's play.
Yeah, it is, and that's a great finish by Ali Miller. So the Hawks know when to put the speed on, but they also know when to reset and be patient. So as this scoreline blows up, I'll be interested to see whether the coach puts on her bench players and sees, and just making sure she checks to see what everybody can do.
14 seconds till halftime. 18 goals the difference. Man to Friketic. Can they score before the final buzzer? And the Hawks ensure they can't. Austin running away with it. I'm not sure if there was any stepping there. They were so quick. But at halftime, 40-22, the Hawks lead the Fury, and Sonia, they must be pretty confident with that start.
Yeah, they will be. And like I said, you know, the Hawks starting to put on a little masterclass out there in their attack end. They've got talented players that are now starting to gel together, and the speed in which they're bringing that ball through the court, the way they can change up from going direct or resetting and going again is very impressive. Is very impressive at the moment. So the Fury have a lot of work to do in order to slow this front end up.
So at quarter time, the Hawks led the Fury 22-9, and now the Fury have only reached the 22 goals that the Hawks had in the first quarter. So not looking good at the moment, but we're going to take a little break. Stick with us, and let's see if the Fury can come back here. coming back for the second half of the preliminary final in the Opens competition. Sonia, tell us about the Swifts event that they've got happening up behind the black curtains, hidden away from us.
Yeah, so they're doing, it's a little congratulations, I guess, for the Swifts players and the Swifts coaching staff and team for winning the SSN and being the champions. So it's a little fan day, which is a great idea. There's a lot of people out there dressed in red who have been supporting the Swifts for many years. So to see them actually win the championship, you know, it's great to see the fans coming down to support.
Well, they've got about 3,000 members, so that's nice that they've done something to sort of include the fans that maybe couldn't get up there to watch.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's great. It's good to see the fans coming out and supporting them.
Now, we've got a change for the Fury. They've finally switched Iongi and McDonald in goal defence and goalkeeper, and we've also got Annabelle Marshall now in wing defence. Their attacking line stays as is. And how about the Hawks? It looks like there's no changes for them.
Yeah, no changes for the Hawks team. So it looks like they're trying to settle this combination. That was a great pop by Ali Miller and good timing on that baseline.
So easy goal to get them on the board for the second half.
So a good opportunity now for the Fury, a contact call, a breaking call. So again, the Fury defence just holding up. The Hawks defence just holding up the Fury attack end. Bit of twinkle toes by Chrissy Bryce there, but just can't nail the shot.
Double pump and a failed attempt straight into the hands of Jess Grant with a good pick-up. Heading up the court now, the Hawks in this inside channel. Marshall in the pocket, looks in. Austin, a lovely feed to Miller, who had good hands. There was a contest for the ball and she stood solid, Sonia.
Yeah, she did, and that was a great feed by Kira Austin.
The difference, 20 goals now. It's looking bad for the Fury at the moment. Little drop from Miller to Marshall on the edge, and now Austin's got it in her hands. Steadies, puts it through. The umpires hit the deck. Kept her eye on the board,
You don't see
though.
that happening much, do you?
No. No contact. Must have tripped over her feet.
We need a replay. Go back to that. Let's ignore Sophie Halpin's interception just now for centre pass, which was really greatly timed. And Kira Austin again on the baseline.
So Halpin's had a lot of tips so far this game. She's really stepping up in defence.
Yeah, she did a good job for the Hawks team.
Might have been a little step there from O'Brien.
And a little fist pump there from up to O'Brien and Kira Austin, and another good feed into Ali Miller. So Ali Miller's having a great game for Hawks, and they're finding her very easily. So Matilda McDonald has a lot of work on her hands. A bit of drop by Marshall, probably just a bit of nerves there, settle into the game, but great pick-up afterwards.
Fury ball outside the circle. O'Keefe looking to feed. She gives it to Bryce, who's got front space, steadies herself. Double pump, misses the shot again. She's really rattled, and Bryce steals the ball off Grant, so Grant will get a penalty there.
That was an interesting fall by Grant.
Oh no, wiping the
she
court.
kind of like fell through Chrissy Bryce, didn't she there?
Yeah.
So Chrissy Bryce is definitely going to have to use her height there for her rebound and get her rebound position, especially on those missed shots. And you know, they say with shooters that they actually know when they're going to miss the shot, so just preparing for that at times. And just misread there by Georgia Marshall, so Fury will have another opportunity to take this to go.
McDonald throwing in, Iongi comes back, but she's covered by Miller, and Austin wins the ball as she falls outside the court. Great balance. Now she's alone at the back. McDonald tips it into the hands of Miller then. Is that an assist?
I think that is an assist, but I think, you know, from the baseline, that was not a great pass in by McDonald. A bit of a coach killer there.
O'Brien looks to give it to Austin, and there's a good contest from Iongi. So we're already seeing a better matchup from those two paired against each other.
Yeah, we are seeing a better matchup. We're just going to need something different inside that circle against Ali Miller, who's, I think, right now having a lot of free time. So again, Iongi was always going to get that one.
Read the play beautifully as we were talking about her, but Fury just throw it straight back into the hands of the Hawks. Oh no, short pass.
Oh, that was lucky for the Fury. I think Frettic was too busy setting up a screen for somebody, and then just kind of missed that loose ball coming in.
She'll get another chance here with Styles out of play. Didn't want to offload that time though. Stood with her grounds. And
I think
up.
her first shot was definitely a rush shot, I think. So it's good to see her just settle and just finish it off. a break call again. So another, you know, little mistake by the Fury there. So that's a lot of running by Austin. So I think we've just got Austin doing a lot of sweeping runs to open up that space. That's better cover from them. And that was good cover by Matilda McDonald on Kiera Austin.
She lost her feet, and Fury have found possession.
Yeah, this is just patience, better patience play, that little diagonal that the Hawks are liking to pick up. So just, this is a better advance to the circle from the Fury. Again, just couldn't control it through the midcourt, but that was better patience play from there. Just couldn't execute that last pass.
I think the defensive pressure from the Hawks is really making them play ad-lib netball. They're just going to have to react as it happens. But as a result, you get some messy play sometimes. It just doesn't work out.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, they are seeing patience. But like I said before, there's a massive height disparity between this midcourt. And I think Hawks are being very smart and just marking that back space, allowing them to take these balls where they can, and then they'll just put the hands up pressure. And that was a great finish by Kiera Austin.
Massive deficit here on the show court. Austin, McDonald was hunting, but it did put her off the feet in.
Yeah, that was good pressure, smart play by Matilda McDonald. So another opportunity for the Fury team.
And here we go. Elridge is going to come on in goal attack. She's just taken her shirt off to go warm up. Marshall was on her own there, but O'Keefe wasn't confident to give her the ball, and they've lost it over the sideline. God, you just shake your head. Some of this isn't, it's just really disappointing, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. You know, the Fury have had a great lead up into the finals, and their journey here has been great. Just, you know, they just come up against a different Hawks team. This is the finals Hawks team. So, you know, for them, you know, little mistakes and stuff are costing them, and against a Hawks team, it's costing them goals, and it's costing them goals quickly. And I think that was a caution against Matilda McDonald from tomorrow.
I was wondering what that hand signal meant. So glad we got you here, Sonia.
I don't know.
Ball won by Marshall. Read the play beautifully.
Yeah, again, that cross court. So, like I said before, Jamie Mann and Megan O'Keefe actually can't see. So they're looking for these lateral passes, which the Hawks actually setting up, and then one of them will just run that middle and take that ball.
Austin looking good, misses the shot though, and McDonald straight on the loose ball. O'Keefe running through the middle gives them an option. Now again, just stuck for that second phase, and they're not confident with the ball, are they? They're just second guessing every pass.
Yeah, and I think what works for them is when they just let the ball go and use their speed.
Frakatic giving it to Mann on the edge, and Bryce all on her own left-hand side of the post. Make sure that this one goes through. $24 goals difference. This is a massive deficit in the preliminary final. Central Coast Heart already through next week to the grand final. They were the minor premiers this year.
Yep, and it looks like they'll be up against the Hawks, who are trying to redeem themselves.
I don't want to speak too early, but if that is the case, it'll be a repeat of last year's grand final.
But the way the Hawks are playing, my money might be on them this year. So a change made by Fury. Now Eldridge going on to goal attack and moving Angela Frechtic into the goal shoot position. So Chrissy Bryce goes to the bench. And another change for the Hawks. So Sophie Dwyer coming into goal attack. Kiera Austin going to go shoot, and Ali Miller goes to the bench.
So with this Hawks side, it's more about preparing themselves for next week now, isn't it?
Yeah, but we saw against Central Coast Heart last week, they actually brought on Sophie Dwyer, who has the ability to shoot the game out. So to get her on the court and keep her active is going to be a good opportunity for them. That was a great movement, a couple of rows there from Ange Fretic on that baseline. Just wasn't seen by her attackers.
Oh, hot potato netball. It ends up with the Hawks.
So the Fury have opted for a rotating circle, so it'll be good. That was a good challenge by Matilda McDonald. Just got caught on the body of Kiera Austin. So 2-1 in the circle. And a great finish by Austin.
26 goals the difference.
So this is better defense of the centre pass from the Fury back end.
Austin running through with that front space. She loves a sweep, doesn't she?
Yeah, she does. It's a good sweep, especially with Sophie Dwight up in the space. But that's another missed shot from the Hawks team. So the Fury got another opportunity. So they're just getting caught wide. So Matilda McDonald and Claire Young are doing a lot of the work to bring the ball through the court. So Nat Eldridge doing a lot of running to try and open up space for her front end.
Keeps it in play. Tries to give it to Frakatic, and Grant and Halpin work together to steal the ball for the Hawks.
Yeah, just a misread pass. She probably should have opted to swing that ball to the top. Similar to that movement. And that was a good triangle between O'Brien and Marshall. Just another missed shot from Kara Austin, so not very comfortable in that goal shooter position, is she?
Strong bounce pass from, I love the facials on that one.
I know, I do question those bounce passes sometimes. They kind of bounce dead middle, and I'm like, oh, was it going to make it? So Halpin just trying to come over the back of O'Keefe, and then O'Keefe just rushed that feed in, so got an opportunity for the Fury. So heads starting to drop in that front end because nothing seems to be going right for them.
Two players out for the Fury. And McDonald did well in the air then, but she just came forward and committed too early.
Yeah, she did. And that was a better finish from Kara Austin. I think she was taking the shot whilst looking to see if Sophie Dwyer was free at the same time, so keeping all her options open.
You just saw the Sparks under-23s team behind the spectators of Zuzi Elridge do really well with their fingers then.
Yeah, I don't know how she held on to that. That was well done by her, wasn't it?
Very well done. So after this match, we have the under-23s between the UTS St George Sparks and Manly Warringah Sapphires. We know that the GWS Fury under-23 side is already through to the grand final there, so they were minor premiers too.
So maybe they're here to see who they're up against. That was good movement by Sophie Dwyer on that baseline. And a great finish by her.
Man.
Yeah, and again,
Fredick
and Eldridge are doing a lot of work to get free on that baseline, but Mann and O'Keefe cannot see them. So it's a lot of wasted movements there because of the height.
Elridge wins ball that time. Styles caught outside the circle, but the feed wasn't that great. Frakatic backtracking to get it, but she does put it through and finish the job. They're just making things too hard for themselves.
Yeah, they are, definitely.
O'Brien fires it into the circle. Quick work between the shooters, almost didn't come off.
Yeah, that was a good save by Sophie Dwyer to hold on to that one.
3 minutes till the final break of this match. Yongi coming right back to the keeper. Now Marshall's looking overhead. Finds man.
Yeah, they're just struggling. If you watch how they're playing, all the attackers are getting caught behind the Hawks defenders. So they just need to come in front. And when they do that, it's so much easier to get this ball through. But they're just getting stuck into that backspace. And that was a good finish by Fred. Took, I think, a bit of a blow, that ball in.
O'Brien looks back, finds Halpin. Now Austin's got it on the outside channel. Marshall looks in. Dwyer has the fingertips up through.
That was well held by Sophie Dwyer.
She's such a young player, but so impressive.
Oh, just a bit balanced there from Eldridge, needed to settle. So again, Jamie Mann doing a lot of work, but just misplaced that feed and yeah, just wasn't able to see the hands of the defenders coming around. So Eldridge coming out to try and open up the circle.
Swinging into that pocket, O'Keefe finds Frakatic on the baseline, but it'll be a turnover.
Yeah, just a replay ball there as it rolled on the floor.
O'Brien grabs at the ball, gives it to Marshall in the pocket. Coming through is Dwyer. Mid-range, loopy shot. The Hawks hit 55. Laterally. And now to O'Brien. Quick work in the air. Austin, very graceful.
Oh, and let me just say that up in that right corner there, we've got some of the Swift girls watching on while eating snacks with their medals round their necks. Can we zoom in on them?
Let's try and
Can
get our
we see
roving
the gold?
camera.
Yeah. The roving camera.
Roll off the body from Austin at the back, but Dwyer, confident, one-footed, puts the ball up and through. There's Maria Lynch, coach of the Sutherland Stingrays, who were knocked out last week against the Fury. So nice to see her supporting and coming along tonight.
Yeah, definitely. I think, a lot of the coaches should be here just watching players, and I guess, not very soon it'll be poaching season, so a lot of them will be there watching to see who they can recruit for their teams for the 2020 season.
Well, how confident is this Hawks side? Swish straight through from Dwyer and a really nice play from O'Brien and Austin. Now, we're just holding time then with 23 seconds on the clock.
I don't think the scoreboard changed, did it? 30 the difference?
I'm not sure, but there was confusion on the set of pass whether it should be breaking.
Oh, good rebound. The pick up by Matilda McDonald. I think Kira Austin again to touch that one. That was a good touch by her. And Sophie Dwyer there for the backup. I expect that to go in. Oh, just took I think the time she took to look at the scoreboard, the countdown, and then put the shot up, she ran out of time. So, but an impressive quarter by the Hawks.
30 goals, Sonia. Is there any way that Fury can come back?
No.
No? They're done?
Unless Hawks stop shooting, which I don't think is going to happen. Yeah, I think they're done, and I think at this point, for the coaching staff, it's just getting these girls to finish strong and finish a good quarter. That quarter, they scored 5 goals, and I think it felt like they scored 5 goals. They're just not seeing the connection between the mid-courts and the attack end. Defensively, they're not holding up the Hawks attackers who are... They're like a machine out there, if I can say that.
Clockwork, yes.
Yeah. So I guess for the luxury the Hawks have now is to bring on their bench players. They've got nothing to lose, and I think you've got to get that exposure out there because you've got finals next week, so you want to make sure you've got 12 players that could go on at any time and do the job.
So Jen Wright still looks pretty serious despite the big deficit. What do you think she's saying to her subs bench there?
I just think she's still looking at the consistency. I think when the score does blow out, it is important that you've still got a coach. And there's always improvements to do. Like you said, like last week when they played the Central Coast Heart, for them, they lost that game, so there's gaps in what they're doing. So it is important for them to actually change those gaps and make improvements on it. So today's the day to be working on that.
And there's Nadia McDonald, who coached the under 20s. It was last year, the North Shore United side that won the competition. Now with Fury, she's got a lot to say. Yeah,
and I think that's good of her. I think she just needs to be concise with the defence because there's a little bit gaps in what they're doing defensively and where they're setting up and the angles they're using. So, which is allowing the Hawks attackers to use that baseline and find their freedom and their space.
Amy Parmenter standing next to her as well. She was the Members Player of the Year at the Giants Gala last night.
Yeah, which is good. I think she had a great season for Giants this year, didn't she? She really came out of her shell. So I'd be expecting her to get an Aussie call-up of some sort, whether it's in their A-team or the Diamond squad. So it'd be interesting to see where she goes moving forward.
It was a bit crazy to see her announced as a debutante last night too, because you think she's playing so well that she's sort of always been there, but still so fresh and so young.
Yeah, and I think, with the absence of Serena Guthrie, she's just taken this opportunity. And she's found, she's a natural wing defence, and I think she's been juggled around from wing defence to centre to wing attack, and her home is in that back end. And I think this season she was able to show and shine in that position and be confident in what she did, and she had a great season.
Well, Cassandra Radford's got the GD bib on for Fury, so we're expecting that change to be made.
Yeah, and I'd be interested to see which of the defenders go to the bench, whether it is Matilda McDonald or Claire Yongi at their back end. So I think both girls struggled a little bit against the tall shooters, so we'll see what the decision is made by Jenny O'Keefe and whether she maintains that mid-court positions.
Now, before we get back to the action for the final quarter of this game, Sonia, tell us what you're doing next. Tell us all about the English Roses.
Yes, I've been brought in as the England assistant coach for this upcoming tour, which is to Canberra and across to New Zealand, where we'll play the Australian A team and the New Zealand A team. So that's a great opportunity for me. So I'm very excited. And then in the new year, January, I'll head over to the UK. Yay! I get to go home for a little bit for winter and hopefully my birthday. And they'll be taking part in the quad series so I'm just waiting for that to be announced as well.
Awesome.
Yeah, very exciting. I know, a bit more coaching.
Okay, so Radford's coming on in that GD bib as we expected. Tilly McDonald stays in goalkeeper. And Hawks look like they stay as they did heading into the break. Halpin winning ball again. She's been everywhere tonight. Coming off the back of that Swifts grand final win in flying colours.
Yeah, she is, isn't she?
Now Fury working really hard to convert here. Comes off the hand of Jess Granton over the back. Elridge throw in from the baseline.
Oh, that was a lucky one for Nat Eldridge as she stepped onto that court. So
instead they get a penalty on the edge with Mann.
Oh,
what happened there? I was watching Elridge and I missed what happened with Jess Grant.
A bit of a stumble there.
Maybe they got their arms locked or...
Yes, that was a good finish by Rector. I think Jess Grant has been known to be a bit clumsy at times, so maybe she tripped over her own feet.
Are all defenders clumsy, Sonia?
No.
Okay. I'm talking to the wrong person.
Yeah, you were. I was like, I'm not really that clumsy, so I was like, oh no.
Elridge again trying to feed in. O'Keefe with the fingertips, holds onto her grasp.
Yeah, they're just struggling to get that feed in, Ange Frektic and Nat Eldridge have a hold, but they don't hold flat enough and strong enough, so which allows the defenders to kind of creep down the side. So if they're going to hold in there against these defenders that do move a lot, they're going to have to hold strong and just maintain that front position for longer.
Austin puts the ball up. It goes around the rim and through. Hawks politely clap. I think with such a deficit, it'd be amiss to make such a big deal of a good shot.
Yeah, definitely.
Man to Freketic. Looks left, looks right, goes back. Oh, and the hands of Sophie Halpin again causing havoc. What's happening here on the edge? O'Keefe and Styles out of play.
And that was good finish by Fury. So, like we said, hopefully this quarter they can just nick away the scoreline.
Oh, Marshall almost one ball for Fury, but it comes over the side of the court. And so Hawks throw it in through O'Brien. Styles on the transverse line to Marshall. Overhead, Austin. Swings, sweeps the circle and finds the ball. Right-hand side of the post.
And that was a good sweep by Austin, and she's definitely been key for this Hawks team and this Hawks attack end.
And the long route towards the centre for that pass. Just hanging on it before they head in. But inside it's a bit of a mess. Elridge finds the ball at the back.
I don't know if that ball was actually for her, but she got there. She put herself there, didn't she? Good
Certainly
job.
very congested in there.
I thought there was going to be a hell ball there. I think the Fury bench thought that too.
O'Brien bouncing to the top. Marshall elects to go to Dwyer. She gives it back to the centre. Now at the back is Austin. Just waits for Tilly McDonald to find her feet and give her some space. Ball comes off the rim though and into McDonald's hands. So Fury coming up the court. Man in the middle now. Strong pass to Freketic.
And that is better attacking play by Fury into space, and well done by Eldridge to hold her ground and wait in that back space for it to open up.
There's Lauren Moore in the red t-shirt and Taylor Fraser. What was really pleasing, Sonia, was considering how many Swifts players were injured and out for the season, the fact that they still took them along the ride and they were so included in everything still. Yeah,
I think it's important. I think that's just part of that culture about that being a team, and I think the Swifts had a lot of replacement players that took the court for them. We can't forget, Amaray Orangi took the court for them. We know that Elle Bennett's also took the court for them. So
what about Kayla Cullen?
Yeah, Kayla Cullen also took the court for them. So I'd be interested to see if they get medals as well.
Ball won by O'Brien in the air and an easy feed into Austin, who was all on her own.
Yeah, and that was just patient feed by O'Brien to find Austin under the post as all the defenders went flying past.
Elridge gives Mann an option. Inside this pocket is O'Keefe.
Oh.
Frakatic winning a penalty, just ran out of play.
Yeah, that was a better hold by Andrew Frakatic.
A very sharp shooter, just not their night tonight, the Fury. 10 minutes left in this preliminary final. Hawks eager to hang on to the 30-goal buffer. Dwyer coming through. Fairway out, double pump. Oh!
I was going to say I'd back on that any day of the week, and then it kind of bounced a little bit. I was like, oh, good thing I didn't say that, but she does not let you down.
Brilliant shooting.
Oh, just a bit of space taken there by Georgia Marshall, so that was good for Megan O'Keefe to find her feet in ground.
Nice little pat on the back. That's good sportsmanship.
Yeah, we don't want any injuries in the last quarter of the game.
Oh, Falcon off the head of Elridge, but she hangs on to possession. Puts
And
it
she
through
finished
the
the
net.
shot, yeah. Knocked some sense into her, that did, and put that goal away.
It's pretty innovative.
It was.
Wow.
And that was again a great finish by Sophie Dwyer there.
She hasn't skipped a beat since she's come on, has she?
No, she hasn't.
Sometimes as an impact player there can be a lot of pressure on you, and obviously the deficit in the two scores here is in the Hawks' favour, but still coming on against such...
Yeah, and she'd also want to get get a run at the finals, so for her it's important to get on and do a good job.
O'Keefe wins the ball.
Well,
Fury
good
pick up an
interception.
intercept, but Nick Stiles puts
just
her
wins it
hands
back.
in it. And Austin dives on the ball. Really put her life on the line there.
And then again, another good shot by Sophie Dwyer. So
No celebration, just shooting, for practice here.
yeah, she just does this. That's what she does.
Oh, great pass. McDonald came out hunting, but O'Brien too quick, straight into Austin.
Yeah, and I think, McDonald's got to pick and choose when she's coming out. I know she's having a go, got nothing much to lose.
Over a third? No, over the back line. Read that wrong.
So here come the Hawks. 8 minutes to play.
Wow, this is confident shooting from the Hawks.
I know, you would want Kara Austin and Sophie Dwyer on your team, wouldn't you, at that front end? They're both shooting demons. And again, Kara Austin finds a space on that baseline against Matilda McDonald. So a bit of schooling there, I think.
Back to back. Austin takes the Hawks to 68. Difference now at 33. Mann bouncing into Frakatic, who did well to hold her position then.
Yeah, she did. She used the baseline well to draw the defender off her and then pop right back. That was a good feed in to her.
Into the pocket. Marshall, comes off the hands of McDonald.
So Hawks will get another go at this.
Throw in. O'Brien looking to go to Dwyer around the body of Marshall. Now Austin's got it. Mid-range. Looking good. Hawks edging towards 70. And there's the grand final MVP player to the right of the screen.
Oh.
She's off screen at the moment. Sammy Wallace.
I know, how good was she? Well, she's been good for them all year, really, hasn't she? So it was good to see her get that one at the end in the finals.
Oh, Elridge again, really having to fight for her feed.
And that's good hustle by Nat Eldridge.
Dwyer back to the transverse line. Austin gives it to Marshall. Radford out of play. Taken back.
And that was a good finish by Kara Austin.
I'm not sure that this pairing has missed many goals at all this last quarter.
No, I don't think they have. Oh, yeah, this last quarter they haven't. I think before they had. And that was well read by Jessica Grant.
Oh, quick work.
Kira Austin is on fire. What quick hands she has.
High five between the two shooters too. They're happy with their work tonight. 71-37. This is a bit of a smashing with 5.5 to play. A hand from McDonald falls into the palms of Austin, and it just shows you how their night's going. No matter what they do, they just can't make things work.
So just getting held up again from that wall of the Hawks.
So what can the Fury learn from this game tonight, Sonia? There's definitely been effort there. It's just things aren't working.
Yeah, I just think it's just that patience in their approach to the attacking circle. Just a bit of rush feeding and misplacement. I think when they are patient, when the midcourt do take the drives, they open up space for each other and they let the ball go. So that confidence in each other and the use of the ball and use of their speed definitely works for them.
Nails the shot. Can Fury finish strong? Out of the hands of Elridge, but back into man.
Yeah, Halpin just causing all sorts of problems there. The vision on the catch and the ball tips on the ball. So Halpin and Marshall just having a little smile with each other. Just work stuff that they're working on.
I will say, though, for Nat Elridge, who's come on as a bit of an impact player in the hope that she can change things,
that was a great touch by McDonald there and a great advance to the circle from the Fury, but just nowhere to go.
Yeah, she's done a good job, Elridge, hasn't she?
Yeah, she's come on well for them. And that was good front use of the front space by her to generate speed and open up the circle.
The Hawks not wasting any energy getting the ball for the Fury. Into the air. Frakatic wins the contest this time overhead. And that's the sort of play we're used to seeing them feed into Frakatic. So the fact we haven't seen much of that tonight really shows that Hawks have been so dominant.
Yeah, they have. And just taking that confidence a bit on hesitation and brought it into the Fury's game.
Dwyer, left hand dominant, takes the Hawks to 74. Just 3 minutes remain. Man to Frakatic. Coming back into that pocket. Oh, that was unorthodox, but I like it.
Replay call.
That was a bit harsh, in my opinion.
Yeah, I don't think she actually handled that properly, but who are we to umpire?
Yes, that's right. Cross court, Hawks move through O'Brien. They move into the circle.
And again, a smart hold by Kira Austin. Just couldn't finish that shot, but Sophie Dwyer was up there to get a little touch on that ball.
Can they convert? Radford through the air. Oh, she finds O'Keefe. Strong into Frakatic, 1 foot inside the circle. Now top of the circle. They try to feed to Elridge and they give it straight back to Nick Stiles. Although
and then straight back to Cassandra Radford. Oh, unlucky by her. I think she did a bit of whatever you can do, I can do at goal defense. So that was unlucky.
How confident is Dwyer?
I know, how nice is her shot. Nice little flick there. So again, great movement by Claire O'Brien, doing good drives.
1:30 left on the clock. Skims across the top before sinking through. Fury would like a couple of goals to finish, you think, after this disappointing result?
Yeah.
Off the shins of Megan O'Keefe and into Hawks' possession.
Yeah, just a little bit rushed and frantic there, and I think, you know, I'm sure all the players are aware of the score, so they're just trying to get on with it. But what a great move by Georgia Marshall, drive to top of the circle, and a great finish.
I'm just looking down at the Hawks bench, and Jen Wright's got a big smile on her face. So after losing to the Central Coast Heart last week in the third quarter, McDonald again trying to save something for the Fury. Yeah, the Hawks, after losing to Central Coast last week, have come back flying here tonight.
Yes, they have indeed. So I think they've gone home and did their homework, and this game has been outstanding for them and just setting them up nicely for the finals.
There's Amy Parmenter on screen. O'Keefe to man. 28 seconds.
Oh, someone's bib on the floor the last 28 to 26 seconds.
Everyone gets a little breather. Elridge goes to the top.
Oh.
She's persistent, Jess Grant.
Yes,
Skipper
she
for the
is.
Hawks.
Yeah, she's doing a good job. Just overcooked that shot, but try to follow for a rebound now, Eldridge, and there go the Hawks. 10
Halpin.
seconds to go.
Halpin with a pick up on loose ball. 5 seconds, 4 seconds. Dwyer can't get the final shot of the game. And it'll go over the back line, and that'll be all she wrote for the preliminary final. So the Hawks are through to the grand final next week. They'll play the Central Coast Heart, and it'll be a 27 rematch. Looking forward to that contest. Unfortunately, the Fury, bit of heartbreak for them tonight, Sonia, bowing out of the season with a disappointing result.
Yeah, definitely. So not what they would have wanted tonight. But a great season to get there. There's a lot of teams that would have wanted to be in their position. So
now, we've also got to pick a player of the match. Who are you tipping as your player of the match, Sonia?
Oh, I think it'd have to go to Kira Austin. I think she had an amazing game. She generated speed in that front end. She brought creativity there as well. So I think she's definitely set the Hawks up nicely for their finals.
All right, little Ray in the middle with all players joining. And we'll be back in front of the camera, hopefully with Kira Austin, to wrap up this preliminary final match. The Eastwood Ride Hawks are through to their second consecutive grand final with a 35-goal win over the GWS Fury here in the preliminary final tonight. Kira Austin, our player of the match, joins us. Kira, I think you guys can be pretty happy with that result.
Yeah, I think we will be very happy. Last week we came out a bit too passive, didn't really take the game the way we should have, and in training this week we were really wanting to lift the intensity, so we were happy that we got to do that today. Yeah.
And I think you definitely did lift the intensity. I thought you were a key playmaker in that front end. You were able to change the pace. You actually brought creativity, that connection with you and Ali Miller, but also with Claire O'Brien.
Yeah.
How did that feel out there today?
Yeah, awesome. I love playing with Claire and I love playing with Ali. We've been working really hard on making sure our combination has been, flowing quite nicely. And Jen's words to me were just to boss it. So I hope
you definitely did that. You definitely bossed it and you definitely owned it out there. It was good to watch.
Yeah, no, it felt really nice. Yeah.
So we saw Sophie Dwyer come on as well, and you guys mixed up your goal shooting circle. Was that just in preparation for next week?
Yeah, I think, Central Coast, they're quite a good defensive end. So, having that practice of a moving circle rather than a holding circle is going to be good for us. And, yeah, what better time to get some practice in a final.
And what about Tay Davies? Is she going to be okay?
Actually, I'm not too sure. I fell down and she fell down behind me, so...
Oh, so you were the culprit.
Maybe.
She hit the first minute of the game.
Hopefully she's okay. She's a tough cookie, so I'm sure we'll see her back on the court.
All right, well, congratulations on your win tonight, our player of the match. Now, coming up behind us on the show court is the under-23s. It's UTS St George Sparks against the Manly Warringah Sapphires. You can tune in at 8:40 and we'll have coverage for you then on Bar TV. But otherwise, you'll see Kira Austin next week in the grand final against the Central Coast Heart. We look forward to it. Thanks for joining us.